What up, guys? I'm B Green. Today I'm going to show you how to chop samples inside FL Studio with the Fruity Slicer. So let's quit messing around and get into it. Of course, first things first, you're going to need to open up your FL Studio. I've got my FL Studio open up. Now I'm going to come down here to my channel rack. Inside my channel rack, I am going to go to the insert and find the Fruity Slicer. I've got the Fruity Slicer opened up. Now when it comes to chopping samples inside FL Studio, you have a few different options. Of course, you have the Fruity Slicer, you have SliceX, you can drop it right in your playlist and chop it that way. Numerous ways you can get the job done. I like to do it a few different ways. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm using a loop or trying to take a loop out of a section of music, then I will probably use something like SliceX. If I'm doing chopping something really small, note by note, then I like to use Fruity Slicer or Serato Sample. But today we are going to be covering Fruity Slicer. Now before I drag and drop my sample in here, there's a couple things I like to do first. First things first, I'm going to turn off the auto dump. What auto dump will do is automatically dump your chops directly into the piano roll. And while this might seem awesome, if you auto chop 100 different chops, you have to go and delete 100 different notes in your piano roll. It gets a little bit tedious. So I just like to go right from the hop and turn off the auto dump. Some other features you've got here, the auto fit. This is just going to make sure your steps are in line and they fit into the sequence properly. The declick function is going to apply a little bit of a fade in and out on each chop to prevent any clicking and popping and distortion in the audio. Then over here you've got your pitch shift. You can pitch it up or pitch it down with this function here. This next meter here will control your slices and the fit. This is your attack. This is your decay. Down here you can filter out the lows and the high-end frequencies in your sample. You have an animate function. This will show you each individual note that's triggered. And the play to end function. This will allow you to trigger a sample and it will play all the way through without having to hold down the trigger. And in addition to all of these knobs here, we've got some icons up here. This folder one will allow you to open up some prearranged chops or grooves that you might have saved or some presets. This next waveform icon here, you click on that, it'll allow you to load up your sample. This razor or box cutter looking icon here, you can come in here and determine the preciseness of your slices, whether you want it on a whole beat, a half beat. This next piano roll option is going to give you different options for the way it will drop and appear in the piano roll. Now that we've got all that out of the way, we are going to load up a sample. Now you can click on this icon here and load up a sample this way, but I prefer to just drag and drop. I have my samples down here in the browser. You might have them on the desktop, wherever they are. Just drag your audio file right into the slicer. As you can see, it's all in there. These red lines are indicating each individual slice. It has gone ahead and done that for me. But we are going to play around and show you guys some different features and how to chop things up. So as we previously mentioned, when you come over to this razor, it will give you more chopping options. I like to go half beat or full beat slices. Let's go with a full beat on these slices here. And now I also like to do zero cross-check slices. This will just make sure each slice is at a point in the waveform that's not going to cause any audio distortions, any clipping, cracking, or popping. And you can play with different chopping options. Half beat, you'll see it chops it all up into smaller functions. Full beat. You can just play around and find what you like. And now that I've got some chops in there, you can see I can trigger it now. Now that we've got it chopped up, we can start to play with things like the pitch. You can raise the pitch up. got a sequence rocking. You can see it's dropped itself into the piano roll. We'll just come over here and edit it up a bit. And that's how to simply chop samples with Fruity Slicer in FL Studio. It's that easy, man, to use Fruity Slicer to chop samples within FL Studio. Load up your sample, choose your slicing parameters, and play around with the pitch. You can adjust the fit length, play with the decay, choose the highs and the lows. Get out there, chop some samples up, make some dope beats. And if this helped you, give me a like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm bgreen91. Thanks for watching. Peace!